purpose of this practice is to reintroduce you to your yoga practice. If you've taken a bit of time away from your mat, it's to welcome you back to your mat and to remember how good it feels to do yoga. So we'll start in child's pose, bringing your knees wide, big toes to touch. Extend your arms nice and long and rest your forehead on your mat. Take a couple of deep breaths. Expand through the rib cage as you inhale, and exhale. Just sink a little deeper. Maybe walk the hands further forward and sink the chest down. Feel the heaviness in your hips drawing down towards the heels. And follow each smooth breath in and out. Find your way into tabletop, your hands under your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Tuck the toes under and begin to stretch up and back, downward facing dog. Take a peek at your hands, spread your fingers, push the ground away. Draw your heels towards the ground. Allow your head to heavy. Bring your focus or your gaze to one point. Still holding that awareness on your breath. Notice the breath in, fill the lungs, and as you exhale, feel the heaviness draw into the heels. Your hips will lift up a bit higher, your heels draw down a little lower. And look at your hands and shift forward to a tall plank or top of a push-up. Bringing the big toes to touch, draw the belly in, lower your knees down, release the tops of the feet, take a breath in. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. And then inhale to cobra, long arm cobra, or upward facing dog. Bring the gaze all the way up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for a couple of breaths. Try to feel the length from the hands to the hips and the hips to the heels. Breathing in and exhaling fully, look to your hands and walk your feet to the top of your mat. Take a breath in, look forward, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Grab opposite elbows and walk the feet about hip distance apart. Let the upper body heavy or hang over the lower body. With each exhale, get heavier in the arms, like there's weights on the elbows drawing you down. And then feel light in the hips, like your hips are moving up towards the ceiling. Finding space between your elbows and your hips, like they're moving away from each other. Take your hands to the ground or to your shins, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to a tall plank, plant the hands, step back. Big toes to touch, knees can lower, or you could stay up high, inhale. Lower all the way down to the floor, exhale. And upward facing dog, cobra or baby cobra. As you inhale, roll the shoulders back and look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking downward dog is a place to sort of take stillness, avoiding the need to pedal the feet or move around, and just really try to root down into the hands and the feet. Whether or not your heels touch the ground is not important, but just moving them in that direction, really trying to find length. We'll find our way to tabletop, so again to hands and knees. And then step the right foot between your hands. Trying to find some space for a kneeling lunge. Shift the weight forward a little bit. Release the top of the left foot. Sweep the arms up or keep your hands at your heart center. And each breath, just sink a little bit deeper. If you need support, you can rest your hands on your thigh on the floor. Or stay where you are. Draw the navel in, send the shoulders back, look up. And if you want, sweep the arms up as you breathe in. And we'll exhale, hands down, step back to tabletop. And simply switching sides, the left foot steps between the hands, shift the weight forward, hips start to shift down. your choice of arms. Taking 3 breaths. Each exhale, sink a little bit deeper. The right hip drawing forward, left hip drawing back. And one more deep breath in. Sink a little deeper, exhale. Your arms can reach up as you inhale. And we'll exhale this time to downward facing dog. Again, that stillness. Try to avoid moving too much. Really root into the fingers, so press into the hands fully, the thumbs, the index, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. Maybe lift and spread the toes. And notice if you're holding your head up, just let it heavy, let it hang, and relax all the muscles in your face. We'll be taking pigeon pose as the right knee comes forward to the right wrist. Release the shin down to the ground as you point your toe. The left leg can start to move its way back. Just finding your comfortable position in pigeon. Your hands can stay forward, or you can start to walk the hands back towards the hips. Maybe taking a slight back bend, looking up. And try to sink a little deeper as you exhale. Then we'll take it all the way forward to lay down, either on the forearms, looking down between the elbows. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the crown of your head towards your fingertips. You can choose to keep the back toe pointed or curl the back toe under, maybe even lifting the knee off the floor. Get a little more sensation. If you want to go a little lower, you can start to widen the elbows, plant the palms one over the other, and rest your forehead on your hands. And see if you can just settle into this. Notice where you feel the most amount of tension or sensation of stretching in your body, and just sink into that space. If you feel like you need to come out of it, or you're feeling squirmy, try and stay a little bit longer, or try to move towards it instead of away from it. If it feels a bit uncomfortable, you should try to push towards it. Moving through that discomfort, we'll find sort of a new opening or new space. Sometimes you have to go through it. If you're down nice and low, so if your forehead is on the ground or on your hands, just start to come up. Maybe up onto the palms, stretch the arms nice and long. And we're going to lower onto the right bum cheek, send the left leg forward. And bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. And your hands will start to walk towards that left foot as you fold forward. Look towards the toes, take a breath in, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold. And so not trying to go too far right away, just allowing your body to get heavy over that left leg. And then follow your breath. So as you inhale, you almost feel like your body's coming up a little bit, and as you exhale, you start to sink a little closer to your leg. You can grab onto your foot if it's nearby, or your calf, or you can still just keep the hands sort of resting by your side. The tendency is for the right shoulder, the right arm to sort of peel up, so try to square the shoulders and push down into that right leg. Move the back of the left knee closer to the ground. Sink a little bit lower. And slowly start to walk the hands back up. And cross the ankles, roll over the feet, and we'll come to tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And just trying to slow it down. Holding in downward dog shouldn't feel too easy, especially if you're coming back to your practice. So try to develop that strength again in the arms and really start to focus on increasing your flexibility again in the backs of the legs. Look towards your navel. Look towards your hands. And then let your head heavy, maybe shake it and let it settle. And let everything just pour off at the shoulders. Really relax here as you can, holding in strength, but relaxing the mind and the breath. Slowly breathing in and out. Taking pigeon on the opposite side, the left knee will come towards the left wrist. Your shin across your mat, point your toe, and that right leg will start to walk back. And again, taking our time, hands can be planted, gazing forward. Maybe coming into a bit of a back bend, walking the hands back, encouraging a little more strength in the back of the body. When you do this, lift up, look up. And exhale, start to sink a little lower, maybe onto forearms. Keep the back toe pointed or curl the toe under and squeeze that back leg straight. And release down if and when you're ready to do so. If you want to come closer to the ground and widen the elbows, plant the palms and release your forehead onto your hands. And then we find stillness. Breathe. Be a sense of releasing and relaxing on the exhalation. So think about filling your whole body, especially where you feel tension, as you breathe in, like you're directing your breath there. And as you exhale, just relax and sink, almost like the ground beneath you is sort of soft, like sand. Try to enjoy the quiet and the stillness. And breathe in for a count of 3, 2, 1. Breathe out 3, 2, 1. One more like this. Breathe in 1, 2, 3. Breathe out 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming back the way you came, maybe onto forearms, and then onto your palms. Take a breath in and out. Lower onto the left side, take that right leg forward. Bring the left foot to the inner right thigh, and start to walk your hands towards your right leg. Take a breath in, and start to sink down towards that right leg. Let your head heavy, relax the shoulders. Maybe walking the hands a little closer to your foot and again settling. And if you're able to, grab onto that right leg. Pull the right shoulder back, left shoulder forward slightly and square them up. Go a little further down. Exhale. Push that right knee or back of the right knee towards the ground. And the left knee starts trailing towards the ground as well, so you're actively drawing it down. And 2 more breaths. And 1. And start to walk the hands back up. And then extend both legs out in front of you. Just scoot up your mat. Slowly roll all the way down onto your back as you hug your knees into your chest. Draw the right knee in. Extend the left leg long. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe wiggle around a little bit. Deep breath in. We're going to twist that left leg over, right leg over to the left side. The right arm extends and you can look over the right side. Drawing back through center, hug both knees in. Maybe lift your head and shoulders off the ground. Give yourself a little squeeze. And holding on to the left leg, the right leg extends. Deep breath in. And exhale, left leg to the right. Left arm extends. draw the knees back in towards center and send your heels towards the sky. Bring your hands down by your side and almost feel like your legs are sinking into your hips, shoulder blades down the back. And squeezing your lower back into your mat, your upper back, your shoulder blades. Trying to maybe close the eyes, find a bit of stillness. Hug the backs of the legs and hug the knees in. And bring the soles of your feet down to the ground and let your knees fall open, palms on the belly. And allow yourself to stay in this posture as long as it feels good, or if you're sort of waiting for something to open up. I invite you to move into Shavasana, or again, staying here, or any other pose you'd like to finish your practice. Thank you very much for joining me, and welcome back to your mat. Namaste.